Hassan Karim has called for police to clarify following silence on reports of the arrest of a woman for allegedly criticizing Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Meanwhile, a lawyer told the court today that the public prosecutor's DNAA decision in Zahid's case was not against the law. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. Pasir Gudang MP Hassan Karim has urged police to confirm whether a woman was arrested for allegedly criticizing Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. This follows more than 24 hours of police silence to press queries on the reported arrest of a TikTok user known as Georgette Myla, who was allegedly detained under the Sedition Act over a video rant against the Premier. When contacted, Hassan said that under the Police Act, all police action must be transparent and in compliance with regulations. He said there can be no secret police action when a member of the public is arrested and that police action in criminal matters must comply with the Criminal Procedure Code. He stressed that Malaysia is a democratic country, not a police state. The PKR lawmaker added that police must disclose whether Myla was indeed arrested and called for her immediate release without conditions. He said there is no reason to detain her without strong justification and that the Sedition Act should be put on moratorium so it can be abolished. Yesterday, social media was rife with posts claiming that Myla had been detained and remanded for 3 days over the video. Malaysia Kini had repeatedly requested the police to confirm the arrest and other details since yesterday morning. The portal has not been able to verify the case facts due to the lack of confirmation, including whether Myla was arrested for the video in question or for other reasons. The Court of Appeal was told today that the 2023 decision to grant Ahmad Zahid Hamidi a discharge not amounting to an acquittal in his Yayasan Akal Budi corruption case did not break any law. Senior Federal Counsel Ahmad Hanir Hambali submitted that the public prosecutor's DNAA decision was made within the scope of his powers and jurisdiction. According to Bernama, he said the decision was not made in contravention of any law and does not go against the scheme or policy of Section 254 at all. He added that it did not violate the public prosecutor's instructions, which are not binding anyway, and do not override the prosecutor's constitutionally rooted prosecutorial discretions. He further contended that the case was discontinued due to new issues and evidence, which required further detailed and comprehensive investigation. Hanir, appearing for the Attorney General, submitted this in the Malaysian Bar's appeal against the Kuala Lumpur High Court's June 2024 dismissal of its application for leave to commence judicial review proceedings over the case. Meanwhile, S. Ambiga, who appeared for the bar, submitted that, while the rights of the accused are recognized, the ultimate exercise of prosecutorial discretion must be guided by public interest considerations. She noted that in the present case, 99 prosecution witnesses have already testified, while the defense has been called and is currently at the stage where the 15th defense witness is giving evidence. After hearing submissions from the parties, Judge Faiza Jamaluddin said that the panel needed more time to deliberate on the matter and will fix a date for its decision later.
From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Pope Leo XIV has issued a warning about the future of democracy, cautioning that it could drift into what he calls majoritarian tyranny if it loses its moral foundations. The remarks come shortly after criticism from United States President Donald Trump, who took to social media to attack the Pope over comments linked to the war against Iran. In a letter to participants at a Vatican conference, the Pope stressed that democracy only works properly when anchored in ethics and values. Without that foundation, he warned, democracy risks becoming either a majoritarian tyranny or a mask for the dominance of economic and technological elites. He emphasized that in Catholic teaching, power should not be viewed as an end in itself, but as a means directed toward the common good. This means legitimacy in leadership comes not from wealth or technological strength, but from wisdom and virtue. He added that the same principles guiding the exercise of authority within nations must also shape the international order. The Pope cautioned that the concentration of technological, economic, and military power in a few hands threatens both democratic participation and international harmony. Trump had doubled down on his criticism of the Pope in a post on Truth Social last night. In his post, the US president said someone please tell Pope Leo about the killings of protesters by Iran, and that for Iran to have a nuclear bomb is absolutely unacceptable. Petronas has confirmed that fuel supply across its network of stations nationwide has been secured through the end of June 2026. This is an extension from its earlier projection of the end of May 2026. In a statement, the national oil company said it continues to actively manage its supply chain to ensure sufficient stock across its station network amid the current global energy crisis arising from the West Asia conflict. It added that Petronas supplies about 50% of the country's fuel needs through its public-listed subsidiary Petronas Dagangan Berhad. It said the balance is supplied by other oil companies operating in Malaysia. Petronas also reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring a stable and reliable fuel supply for all Malaysians. It said members of the public are encouraged to purchase fuels responsibly according to their daily needs and avoid any hoarding or panic buying. Petronas added that responsible usage will help ensure continued accessibility for all. On April 1st, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said Petronas is assisting the government in providing sufficient oil and gas supplies at least until May.
If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe.
Back to the topic of fuel, MCA has urged the government to speed up approval of fuel subsidy quotas for school bus operators, warning that delays could have a wider impact on the public. Its Vice President, Vijay Singh, stressed the need for proactive and decisive action to ease the people's burden, noting that citizens want results, not excuses. He pointed out that the Federation of Malaysian School Bus Associations has warned fares could rise as early as next month if the issue remains unresolved. He said according to the association, there have been no response on applications for the monthly subsidized quota of 800 litres under the subsidized petrol control scheme, and operators who had it approved have yet to receive their fleet cards. We said operators are not raising fares without reason, but are under pressure due to delays and challenges in the current system. He added that the issue not only affects operators' viability, but also highlights a disconnect between policy implementation and the realities on the ground. Despite policies aimed at protecting critical sectors, operators are left to deal with applications, delays, and uncertainty on their own. He stressed that while global factors may be beyond control, the government must act on what it can to reduce the burden on the rakyat and move swiftly instead of offering excuses. Previously, Federation of School Bus Associations Malaysia President Amali Munif Rahmat said operating costs had risen sharply and operators would have no choice but to increase fares from next month if the issue remained unresolved. He added that the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry and the Finance Ministry must find a solution to ease the burden of rising operational costs and fares. Meanwhile, the Malaysia Communications and Multimedia Commission, or MCMC, has recorded a statement from an individual suspected of spreading false information about the alleged supply of some 329,000 barrels of diesel to the Philippines. In a statement, the Commission said authorities had confirmed that the diesel belonged to trading firm Vitol and not to Petronas or the Malaysian government. MCMC added that the communication device believed to have been used to upload the content has been seized to assist in investigations. It said that as of April 14th, a total of 47 investigation papers have been opened over the spread of fake news linked to the global energy crisis on social and digital media following the conflict in West Asia, and all cases are still under investigation. Among the false claims circulating online are alleged fuel price hikes beyond official rates, electricity tariff increases, claims that Malaysian vessels are paying tolls to Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, and that Budi 95 subsidies are being extended to Singaporeans. The case is being investigated under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act, which carries a maximum fine of 500,000 ringgit or up to 2 years jail, or both upon conviction. MCMC said it took the misuse of digital platforms seriously and warned that strict action will be taken against those who spread false information. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.